So today we'll discuss about highway alignment. So basically, before constructing any road or any type of road, any type of highway, first you have to decide whatever your alignment is. So based on the alignment, you have to construct the road. Now, what is alignment? And alignment is nothing but the central position or central line of a road. So by serving, you have to establish the central line. After that, you can find out what should be the width of the road based on the importance and based on the category of the road. After that, only you can construct the road. So in definition, the highway alignment is the position of the central line on the highway in the ground is called highway alignment. Now, in the highway alignment, there are different things which will include. So, these things are like your horizontal alignment and vertical alignment. So, in the horizontal alignment, there are different things which will come like your side distance and horizontal curve, etc. will come. And in the vertical alignment, there will come like super elevation and what are the grades of the road and what are the vertical curves. Okay, like daily curve, set curve, etc. will come. Now, this highway alignment should be very much proper and it should be done utmost carefully because if there is any mistake in that case, it will increase the construction cost, it will increase the maintenance cost, it will increase the vehicle operation cost, and it will increase the accidental rate. Now, how you will going to decide whichever alignment to select? So basically, based on the survey of that or on-field survey of that particular area. So by on-field survey, you have to select different alternative routes. So for example, suppose two position is there. One is location A and another one is suppose location B. And there are suppose some distance between these two locations. Now, what you have to find out? You have to find out different alternative routes from location A to location B, different alternative routes. Now, how you select the different alternative routes? So these different alternative routes will be selected based on the geophysical properties of that particular area. So what are the different features of the area? Okay, suppose in that road one major stream is okay. Suppose major stream is there. So you have to find out what would be the possible breeze side for that stream. Okay. Now another thing is whenever you are constructing a bridge, in that case, generally you have to avoid this type of section, that is this type of curvature section of a stream or river. Okay, so you have to always construct a bridge in a straight path. So these are the different things which you have to follow whenever you are choosing different alignment. So we'll discuss this in more details in the next portion. So what are the requirements of an ideal alignment? So the requirement is it should be same in terms of construction, operation, maintenance, etc. It should be easy. Easy means the construction materials should be easily available within the construction site. Similarly, it should be easy during the operation of vehicles, that is vehicle operation, so that all the vehicles can operate over it very easily. This should be short, that is so that the distance between two particular location is short. So generally for the highway alignment, a straight path is always preferred because straight path is the shortest distance. But the thing is, because of the different geophysical features, you have to deviate from the straight path. And ultimately, it should be economical construct. So for that reason, you have to calculate the the cutting and filling of that requirement of that particular alignment, what are the different construction materials, whether they are available or not. So basically that will increase the cost if the construction material is not easily or readily available within the site. So these are all the things which are very much required for a ideal alignment. Now, there are different factors which affect the highway alignment. So, these factors are first one is government. So, why government? Because maximum cases government is generally investing in your road project. So, therefore, as the road project is a large investment, the government should be clear about the requirement of the road. That is when you have to construct the road, where you have to construct the road, and that particular road will go in which direction or in which areas. Then there are obligatory points. So obligatory points are some points which you need to connect or which you need to avoid. So the point which you need to connect, in that case, that point are called positive obligatory point, and the point which you need to avoid, these are called negative obligatory point. Okay, so the thing is, let me give one example. Similarly, suppose two locations are there. So in between these two locations, so basically that is the shortest path, that the straight path. Now you have to find out what are the positive obligatory points. That is the point from which a highway alignment should pass. Suppose one existing road is there over. Okay, so if you can connect this existing road with the new road, in that case, you will save some construction cost. So this existing road will be one type of your uh, positive obligatory point. Now another thing, suppose this is one location A and this is another location B. Location, this is another location A and now suppose one town is there or city is there which is positioned at location C. Okay, now you can construct a road over there, but the thing is if you can connect your road with CTC, in that case it will be more useful. More users can use that particular stretch of the road. So in that case, that road will be more useful. Okay, so therefore, that if there is any intermediate town, in that case, that would be a positive obligatory points. That are the points through which your highway alignment should pass. Then again, bridge side, existing bridge side. Okay, suppose one particular stream is there, that is the stream, and one a pre-existing bridge is already there. So your two locations are location A and location B. Okay, location A and location B. Now the thing is, if you want to directly connect these two locations A and B, in that case you have to again construct a bridge in the banking of the river. Okay, so basically that is not suggested as per the view of the construction engineer or structural engineer. So in that case, if you can connect the existing bridge side with your road, in that case that will be more economical. So you can connect from A to C, and then so if there is existing bridge side, that will be your positive obligatory points. Now suppose a mountain, suppose two points are there, point A and C, A and C. You have to connect these two locations, okay, by a road. So in that case, the straight line would be like that one. But these are the contour maps. So by the contour map, you can observe that there is a hill in between A and B. So if you want to construct a straight path, in that case, either you have to make one tunnel or otherwise you have to cut all the hill portions and make it a straight portion. So in that case, that will increase the cost of the construction. So what you can do, you can go around the hill. You can go around the hill and reach to location C. Okay, so these are the some positive obligatory points that are the when the road is to cross a road is mountain pass may be suitable alternative. These are the mountain pass. It may be a suitable alternative. Now coming to the next portion, that is negative obligatory points. These are the points through which a highway alignment should not pass. So what are the different points? Valley, ponds and marshy lands need to be avoided. So if there is some valleys, if there is some ponds, if there is some marshy lands, in that case, this portion of the land should be avoided because if you want to construct the road over there, in that case, you have to invest huge money. Okay, because the construction procedure over that type of road required huge investment. Now, some religious space are linked with human sentiment. Suppose two locations are there, and in between, in the straight line of these two locations, suppose one temple or mosque or church is over there. So you cannot demolish that type of establishment because if you demolish that type of thing, it will attract human sentiments and it will create some nonsense, nuisance. So in that case, you have to avoid such type of religious places which is linked with human sentiments. Then costly structure present in the way of a line. Costly structure, suppose a mall is there, okay, in between the road, a mall is there, or some other finding costly construction is there, office places is there. So you have to avoid that type of construction also because ultimately demolishing that type of building or that type of construction will not be suitable for the economic condition. Conservation areas and restricted zones. Suppose a conservation forest area is there, okay, or suppose some restricted zone is there. In that case, you will have to deviate your road section. Then densely populated area. If the area is densely populated, in that case, there will be huge construction or there will be huge establishment around the place. So if you want to build one road through the densely populated area, in that case, it will affect you more economically because you have to demolish more structure, and in demolishing more structure, you have to uh, give the total money or give the demolition cost to the respective land owners or establishment owners. So in that case, it will ultimately increase the cost of your construction. And the road should be within the boundary of your country. Suppose one location A is there and another location is B is there. So if you constructing a road nearby the boundary of a country, in that case you have to follow the boundary. You cannot just cross your country to make the road straight. Okay, so as the boundary is there, so as per the boundary, you have to construct the road. Then next thing is traffic. So what is traffic? So for this purpose, for this elementary purpose, traffic, you just remember that traffic is the all type of vehicles which is roaming over the road. It may be vehicles, it may be pedestrians. Pedestrians means human walking over the road. So all these types are included in the traffic. So this alignment, whatever alignment you are proposing, that alignment should be according to the type of the traffic, that is what are the different types of vehicles which are moving over there and what are the numbers of users which are using that particular road. Then flow pattern, how these vehicles or humans are moving over the road when there is a peak volume. Peak volume means when there is a maximum number of users, when there is minimum numbers of users. So all these things should be carefully noticed whenever you are proposing an alignment. Then geological condition. So geologically stable heat slope must be considered while selecting the highway alignment. Suppose you are constructing a road in a hillside. In that case, you have to find out whether that particular hillside is geologically stable or not. If it is unstable, in that case, what will happen during the rainy season? It will collapse and massive landslide will happen and the road will be blocked. Then the next thing is geometric design. So geometric design is there are different factors which affect the geometric design. Geometric design is uh, many physical features of a particular highway. Like there is some horizontal curve is there, vertical curve is there, super elevations are there. So these are all included in the geometric design. So what are the different geometric designs? So we discuss in the later on chapters. Then availability of the construction materials and labor, which I already discussed. That economy, all these things should be connected with economy, whether that is economical or not. Then other consideration, that is drainage consideration. So drainage consideration is your alignment should be such that it should not pass through any cross drainage structure. Cross drainage structure means suppose one highway there, okay, and there is some flow of the water like that. Okay. So basically you cannot allow the water flow through your road. Okay. In that case, particularly you can construct one culvert or you can avoid that type of constraint structure if alternate alignment is available to you. Then political pressure. So political pressure is what happens. So basically, if you are constructing a road, you will discuss this with the local politicians. That, or sometimes local politician will impose you that your road alignment should pass through that particular area. Okay, so these are the some political pressure. Then monotony. So monotony is very important thing. What is monotony? Let me discuss about it. Suppose one straight road is okay, one straight section of the road is there for suppose 20 kilometer or 30 kilometer or 50 kilometer. That is total straight way. There is no hindrance to the movement of the traffic and road condition is very good. So in such type of road, suppose there is no speed breaker, nothing is there. That is a total continuous road and a straight road. So suppose in such type of road, if you are moving with your vehicle, if you are driving your vehicles, in that case, what you have to do, you just have to put your leg on the accelerator and the vehicle will go on. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to change your gear. You don't have to put your brakes on, and you don't have to move, use that other features of the vehicle. So if you put your leg on the accelerator, then vehicles will go on and go on. So basically what will happen? So in such type of situation, after some time, because of this comfort of the vehicle, comfort of this journey, you will fall asleep. And that is quite natural. So this type of situation is called monotone. That is, your journey becomes very much monotonous. So if your journey becomes very much monotonous, in such cases, there is a chances of accident. Okay, chances of accident. Why suppose suddenly some vehicles are coming from the opposite direction, then in that case you may lose your control. So this type of thing is called monotone. So you have to avoid this monotony by intentionally providing some of the obstacles or some of the hindrance over the road. Suppose you can intentionally construct some portions of the road, maybe bed, or you can provide some horizontal alignment or some curvature of the road intentionally. Okay, so monotony can be avoided in such type of way, or you can provide some speed breakers like that, so that all this driver could be 100% engaged in driving their vehicle. So this is called basically monotony. Now, there are some special considerations in constructing the hill roads. So, first one is stability. So, whenever you are constructing a road, the surrounding should be stable enough. Otherwise, it will cause your massive landslide. The drainage structures. So, with the hillside, there will be many cross drainage structures. So, if that cross drainage structure should be avoided, in that case, you can avoid it. Otherwise, we have to build culvert. Then geometric standards. So suppose how much, suppose one particular road section is there and its profile is like that, vertical profile is like that. So basically how much up should be there and how much down should be there, there is some certain limits. Okay, you cannot cross the limit. So basically you have to check whether that limit has been crossed or not. Now, this resisting length is the ineffective rise and excessive fall should be minimum. So, basically, if there is excessive rise and excessive fall, in that case, this thing should be avoided. Otherwise, the vehicle operation would not be very much smooth. So, these are the different special consideration for the vehicles. So, is this portion clear? If it is clear, I will
Sir,
start the next portion. Yes.
hello,
Yes, yes.
sir. Who is responsible for this highway alignment? Survey engineer.
Yes, survey engineer.
Okay.
Survey engineer. So basically, survey engineer will go for the survey. So initially, what will happen? Initially, the chief engineers or other high officials, they will decide that the highway should be passes through which particular area. Okay. Suppose that they have decided that between two particular points that highway should pass in that particular area. After that, surveyor will survey through the portion, and on that portion they will suggest different alternative section of the road. Is it clear?
Okay, sir. What about sir master plan?
Master plan. Master plan is basically
Who,
what happens.
who is no, no, who is responsible for it?
Master plan, for the master plan, the responsible person is the planner. Okay, so for every city, every area, there must be one planner who will plan the city. Okay, so generally chief engineer or something like that. So basically, they will decide with the recommendation of the ministry, because ultimately they will funding this. That what would be our planning for 25 years. Okay, so after 25 years, what we want to achieve. So based on this, they will uh, uh, formulate some short-term plan, 5 years plan. So basically, for the master plan, 125 years plan would be there. That within that 25 hours, 25 years, we have to achieve this. So let me give an example. In that case, it will be clear. Suppose for the Guwahati area, suppose my master plan is after 25 years, there would be some metro rail network. Okay, there would be metro rail network. So after that, I will go for the short-term plan, 5 years plan. 5 years plan means to achieve the metro rail. What are the short-term plan would be? So first, what would be the main thing? First thing is we need to find out whether that metro rail is related or whether it is necessary or not. So in that case, we will go for the traffic survey. Okay, so for the traffic survey, we will find out what are the different locations where there are maximum number of traffic volume. So in that case, or maximum number of population. So if you can construct our metro network which passes through the area, in that case it would be beneficial. So like that, for the next 5 years, we will go for the another short-term plan that now we need to acquire the land for the metro network. So these are the things. Okay, so these are the things. So first you have to go for the master plan. After that, you have to build the short-term plan. Is it clear?
So, mhm. So this it means planning department,
Yes, planning
planning
department.
engineers.
Hmm. Anything else?
You can go ahead.
Now we'll discuss in detail about the engineering survey for the highway alignment. That are what are the steps associated with the engineering survey of the highway alignment and how these things will be done. So your first thing of the engineering survey is map study. So map study is basically uh, from the map, view of the map for an existing area, you will decide some alternative routes. So now basically Google Maps are available, your GIS is available, and other things are available, other such facilities are available. So in such cases, you can easily read the map and you can easily find out whether there is any valley is there or whether there is any hilly area is there. Okay, so you can easily find it out. So after finding out, you have to suggest some 10 to 12 numbers of alternative routes connecting two different points. So now this web study is very much easy because of the technological advancement. In the previous cases, whenever when technological advancement was not there, so in such cases that map study was conducted by aerial survey. Aerial survey means one plane would be there which will uh, uh, take the photograph of a particular topographical area. After that, all this photograph is attached in a particular area, particular portion, and after that, that could be act as a map for that area. So in the map study, some of the details which is considered, that is avoiding many ponds or lakes. So basically that all these things are easily available in the maps. Avoiding bend of a river so that you can construct a bridge whenever it is necessary. If the road has to cross a row of hills, possibility of crossing through a mountain pass. So whatever mountain pass is there, you have to identify all these mountain pass. And after identifying all these things, you will suggest some alternate routes. So after that, that next survey is the reconnaissance survey. So in the reconnaissance survey, this is basically the second step of highway alignment survey. So in this survey, a survey team is headed to the area under study with a minor survey instrument to do a rough estimate over the area. Okay, so the main things which is included in that reconnaissance survey is to confirm features indicated on the map, confirmed features indicated on the map means suppose the maps that you have suggested can to have alternative routes. So in the reconnaissance survey, we will visit all this area and find out whether whatever things are visible in the map, whether they are existing or not, whether they are right or not, to examine the general character of the area in field for deciding the most feasible routes for detailed studies. So after this, basically from the 10 to 12 alternative routes, you will decide based on the geophysical features of that area that up to 5 numbers or 4 numbers road is suitable for your detailed survey. So a survey party may inspect along the proposed alternative routes of the map in the field with very simple instrument like every level. Every level is basically an instrument to measure the leveling of a particular stress of the road to find out what are the cutting and filling requirements for that alternative. Now, basically, this leveling things, that is how much cutting and filling is required, that can also be done using the GIS things. Then tangent kilometer to find out the angle to collect and some basic instrument like your tape, chain, etc. to find out very basic informations from that area. So what are the details which are collected from the recon and survey? So these are the details. First one is whether valleys, ponds, lakes, or marshy lands are available over there or not, or any permanent structure is there or not. After that, they will check whether the value of the gradient. Suppose two particular stretches are, of the area is there, so they will check the vertical profile over there, and they will check whether this vertical profile could be attained using the suitable specifications of the course or not. Okay, so that is your value of the gradient, length of the gradient, and radius of the curve. So for that reason, they need leveling instrument, they need tangent kilometer to measure the levels, measure the angle. Number and types of cross-drainage structures. So if there is any streams are there, if there is any rivers are there, they will find it out and to compare between different alternative routes. Suppose there are 10, 12 alternative routes. In some of the cases, there are 5 numbers of cross-chain is work. In some of the cases, there are 10 number of cross-chain is work. So basically, if there is lesser number of cross-chain is work, in that case, it would be more economical. Okay, so in that case, for the comparative analysis, they will collect all this data. Then high flood level of that particular area, that is also required, because if you want to construct an all weather road, in such cases your elevation of the road should be higher than the HFL level, that is high flood level. So for that reason you need to find out what is your HFL level, and moreover HFL level is equal to construct any possible bridges and any other structures. Then soil characteristics. What are the characteristics of the soil? Whether the soil can bear the load of the vehicles or not. And if they cannot take the load, in that case, whatever measures could be taken economically so that make the road very much economical. Then geological features, different geological features like the topography of the area, okay, etc. Then the source of construction materials, whether the construction materials are easily available or not. For the construction industry, another main important thing is source of the water, whether water source is there or not. So these are the things which will be identified in the second stage of the survey, that is your reconnaissance survey. So from the detail collected from the reconnaissance survey, what they will do, they will reduce the number of alternative routes. Suppose in the map study there are 10 to 12 numbers of routes which have been selected. Now after the reconnaissance survey, they will suggest only 4 to 5 numbers of 3 to 4 numbers of alternative routes. Now from the reconnaissance survey, you have only 3 to 4 numbers of alternate routes. Now coming to the next survey, that is preliminary survey. So basically that is the third step of the survey. So in the third step, what you to do, that is to survey the various alternative alignments proposed after the influence and sets, and to collect all the necessary physical information and detail of topography, drainage and soil. So in that preliminary survey, the detail to be collected would be much more precise than your second stage of the survey. After that, you will compare different alternative requirements or alternative alignment, and after that, after the preliminary survey, you will suggest only one alternative road. Okay. So the method of preliminary survey, there are different methods. One is conventional method. So in the conventional method, there are different things like traversing. So the traversing is run from the straight point to the end point by setting out various contour point. So first thing is traversing. Then your leveling work, that is how much leveling work is required, what is the vertical profile of the node, then topographical features, all geographical and man-made structures of an area should be noted down. Then drainage studies and hydrological data, that is whether there is water sources are available or not, how much corrosion structures is there. So, so these are the things. Then soil survey, that is the type of the soil. Then material survey, whether the material is easily available or not. Then determination of the final center line. So based on all these points, so from the reconnaissance survey, if we have 3 to 4 alternatives, so in the preliminary survey, after all these things, you will decide only one road or only one alternative. Now these are the specification of the survey. So for the plain terrain, your traversing interval should be 100 to 200 meter interval. For the rolling terrain, that would be 50-meter interval, and for the hilly terrain, that is 30-meter interval. So basically, if you go for the terrain, so that is your basically plain terrain. If there is some certain undulation, in that case it is rolling terrain, and if it is hilly area, then in that case it is called hilly terrain. So these are the traversing interval for all these type of area. Now, the procedures for the modern rapid approach and distant view. So, first one is taking aerial photographs with frequent lateral and longitudinal overlaps. Now, that thing would be achieved through GIS. With GIS, these photographs are then examined under stereoscopes, and control points are selected for the establishment of the traverse. The spot levels and the control lines may be obtained from the stereo pair observation, and photo interpretation method is used to grab information on the geological features, soil condition, drainage requirements, etc. So basically now all these 4 steps could be done using one software, and that is called your GIS, that is Geographic Information System. So basically you have some classes on GIS in your next semester. Okay, GIS. So basically that is very important for the road construction and for the highway. Now a report should be prepared based on the following features. So for the base plan, for the built-up area or hilly terrain, your horizontal should be 1:1000. That is, in 1:1000 interval, you will have to find out the report, and for the vertical, that is 1:100. For the plain and rolling terrain, it is 1:2500 and 1:250. So these are the some uh, features of the preliminary survey. So you just remember one thing. So from the map study, we suggest different alternative routes, maybe 10 to 12, maybe 5 to 6. So after the reconnaissance survey, so that number will be reduced to 3 to 4 or 2 to 3 like that. And after the preliminary survey, that will be further reduced to one road. Then you have to go for the final location and detail survey. Okay, then you have to go for the final location and detail survey. So in the final location or detail survey, so basically that is divided into 2 parts. One is final location survey and another one is detail survey. So some of the points which are included in the final location and details are there. Transferring the alignment on the ground. So whatever alignment you have found out suitable, you have to transfer all that alignment points into the ground so that you can construct the highway alignment, and this could be done by transit theodolite, or you can use your total station for that reason. Major and minor control points are established on the ground, and center packs are driven, checking the geometric design requirements. So after establishing that central line, okay, you have to insert the pegs in both the side of the alignment to mark the weak and other features, geometric features of the road section. So in the details are there, what are the things which is done? So first thing is temporary benchmarks and fixed in intervals of about 250 meters, and then tall drainage and underpass structures. So whenever there is any underpass structure or tall structures, in that case you will some temporary benchmark has to be established. Then artwork calculation and drainage details are to be worked out from the level books. Artwork calculation means whatever leveling is required, that is your cutting and filling is required. Suppose for that reason, first you have to establish the vertical profile. So if that is a vertical profile, some portion you have to cut and some portion you have to fill. So you have to find out what is the cutting and filling requirements of that particular area. So that thing is also to be done using the GIS. In the GIS, there is one particular model that is the digital elevation model. So using the digital elevation model, you can estimate the cutting and filling requirements of that particular section of the road. Then severe failure of the soil along the alignment may be carried out to determine the strength of the soil. So for the highway alignment or for the construction of the highway, generally one particular test is prepared. That test is called severe test or California bearing ratio test. So we can collect the soil sample from different stretches of the particular area and to find out what is the soil strength over that area. So basically, based on the severe failure only, you can decide the thickness of your road. The data during detailed survey should be elaborate and complete for preparing detailed plans, design, and estimate of the projects. So these are the all things of that survey. Now, next question is necessity of realignment. Necessity of realignment means suppose there is already existing road is there, but you want to realignment of that road because of the different reasons. So, what are these reasons? When you need to change the alignment of the existing road. So, first thing is improvement of horizontal alignment, such as superillumination, transition curves, side distance, elimination of reserve curves, and undesirable zigzag, etc. So, what is transition curve? What is side distance? I will discuss this in the later chapters. So, first for this classes, you just remember they are the different geometric features of the road. So, if the geometric features of the roads are not adequate, in that case, it will cause accidents and hindrance to the movement of the traffic. Improvement of the vertical alignment designs. Vertical alignment designs means vertical profile of the road. Suppose in one road there is excessive fall and rise. So in such cases, if you want to improve the condition of the road, in that case you can possibly go for the realignment. Then raising the level of a portion of the road. Suppose that area is affected by the flood and you want to make an existing fair weather road to all weather road. Reconstruction of weak and narrow bridges and culverts and changes in waterways at location slightly away from the existing site. Suppose you want to reconstruct one bridge is there that is suppose very old bridge, so you are constructing a new road. new piece, in that case your alignment should be slightly deviated from its original position to cross over that deeply constructed piece. Realignment required due to the portion of the road being submerged under the water at the reservoir area. Suppose one dam is there, so associate with them, one reservoir area is there, so if a road falls under the reservoir area, in such cases, you have to go for the realignment of the road. Construction of a bypass to avoid the road through going through the town. So suppose one particular city is there, okay, and different roads are there. Now, suppose some vehicles are there which want to go from this end to that end. In that case, if the vehicle process through the city, in that case, it will take more time. So, in such cases, you can build one bypass road. And if there is any defense requirement also, in that case, you can construct the road. So the meeting will be held within 2 minutes. So you just have to again join the class using the same link.
15 minutes, sir.
15 minutes, just join. It will end because already 40